What's going on, people? My name's Timmy Joe. I make videos about computers all over the internet, and today on the program, speaking of the internet, have you thought about VPNs and the privacy on the internet and who's looking at your stuff and how you're streaming and how that's going to change, how the freaking whole freedom on the internet is changing because I'm looking at you, EU, in your articles. There's a lot of reasons to consider a VPN these days, and while you're browsing the internet, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And I want to thank VPN for sponsoring this video. We're going to talk about VPNs. I think it's a pretty good subject, and they wanted to sponsor a video, and it could be a little bit of a shill and promote them. But I just wanted to talk more about VPNs on the whole, because there's a lot of reasons these days why you might want to get one. And IVC is actually in the top 5 VPNs, have very similar services to some of the other big dogs out there, but they're definitely one of the, if not the cheapest. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the video. But why do you want a VPN? What is a VPN? Well, if you're a layman and don't know, it is this. It's you going to a server and browsing as if you're somewhere else, a virtual private network. And actually, my whole understanding of VPN started back in my college days, Windows 2000 server, where you'd use it, dial into your office and browse their local network as if you were there, so you could grab the TPS report you forgot to put on a floppy disk before you left work and get your work done so, Lumberg doesn't get mad at you.
We have sort of a problem here.
You see, I'm using stuff there that I shouldn't be, right? Because EU, we'll talk about that. So now, most people know what a VPN is, and the way they think of it is exactly this. You use a server somewhere else in the world to browse the internet as if you were there, and there are several different reasons why you might want to do that. And you have to pretty much pay for a service like that these days to get a good one. And IVC is a very good one because it's cheap, unlimited stuff. We'll talk about that in all in a second. So, big reason why is, well, the freedom on the internet is going away. It used to be that you could browse the internet as long as you weren't doing really, really bad things. Everyone would leave you alone. You could 4chan and you could IRC and Reddit, and no one was going to get in your way. But increasingly more, they're trying to take away the freedom on the internet, and a big problem with the EU is their use of copyright legislation to try and make services like YouTube, where you're watching me right now, actually have to take onus for copyright infringement on their platform. And the way that this legislation is worded is very scary, because it could be as simple as that Lumberg reference I just put up there, in the TPS reports. Me showing that could make this video ineligible to be viewed in the EU. And who knows how, YouTube's actually gone on record saying they'll pretty much have to change their service to be extremely limited and only allow very high, reputable sources to post on the internet and or on YouTube. And that's very, sad. And it's not just the EU that's doing this. Recently, legislation passed in South Africa that has some pretty similar implications. So this is going to start happening more and more. But if you live in one of these countries, you will be able to use a service like IVC and VPN into the United States and browse YouTube like normal, as long as they don't figure out some way or outlaw VPNs. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's definitely not on the table right now. So as long as you're a little bit savvy, you should be able to use a workaround. And that's what people in China are already doing. So a lot of services, Facebook and stuff that are banned there, a lot of VPN use there. So yeah. That's a real good use for this. But there are some fun uses for it as well. Streaming services, and I'm sure you know about this. Depending on where you are, Netflix looks different. There are, the countries have different, subscriptions. Maybe a show that's on the American Netflix, and I'm showing Woody Harrelson there, and I could get in trouble for it through that EU thing. Anyways, maybe there's Hulu. I can't use Hulu in Canada. I'll be able to browse some in the States, maybe go use some Hulu. Or maybe there's a show that's on in Canada that you can't watch on Netflix in the States, or in the UK, or in Australia. So it actually opens up a whole different list of options for stuff you can watch through your favorite streaming services. So you load up the client here. Here's the Windows client. It's pretty lightweight, has a lot of options. You log in, after you get your subscription, and then I can go browse from the States. It does its little thing, and finds me a server, the fastest connection in the States. And a great thing about Ivacy is I can do this unlimited times. So if some server is not working for you, you can try again. Or some country isn't working for you, you can try again. And now it says I'm browsing from the United States, and I just get rid of that. And I can go ahead and browse down and reload Netflix, and it changes. A bunch of stuff's no longer available, but there is a bunch more of stuff that's available. And what's cool about that is it doesn't just work for Netflix. Like I was saying, there's no Hulu here. I can go ahead and now get a subscription to Hulu, or if I turn this off, built right in here, there's a whole list of streaming services that you can now just one click, and it's going to put you on the right server to use the BBC. So there's a lot of different implications for this. And the streaming services is definitely one of them. Another fun reason to use the VPN, and there's a couple different ways to use it, and we'll show that in just a second. Android, Chrome extension, pretty cool. But you can actually use it through several devices here, and there's instructions on their website to use it on smart TVs. If you don't even have an Android TV, there are ways around it. You can even use it directly on your router, change your router settings to use the Ivacy VPN. So there is a whole, bunch of information and different ways of doing things, and you can read up on their website, and it's very flexible is what I'm getting at. But you can use it on a smart TV. You don't have to have a Windows PC or an Android. That's what I'm getting at. But another way, cool thing you can do is save some money. Actually, you might not have thought of this, but depending on where you're browsing from, online services and different things you're purchasing online might end up being cheaper. And the example they gave me was they show Expedia. There's a Origin Hotel Red Rocks. If you're browsing from the United States, it's over $8,000. But if you go ahead and use VPN like Ivacy to go over to the UK, the price actually ends up being £4,523, which is just under $6,000 American. So you're saving yourself a lot of money. And it can work with a lot of stuff that it doesn't work with Amazon or things that you're going to have shipped to your house. But if you're looking to buy some software, maybe it's cheaper to browse to a different location and see if it's less expensive to buy the software there. Apparently, a subscription to Office 365 is more expensive if you're browsing from the UK. So different ways you can kind of use a VPN to cheat the system and do some things. But it's always nice to have another option to search for some value and save some money. So, Ivacy, why choose them if you need a VPN? Well, 1,000 different servers in 100 different locations. They don't log your information. It's based out of Singapore, which I'll leave that to you if that's a good thing or not. But they do not log first-party servers. They don't own them, as far as I could tell. But that's kind of like the way everything works. No one owns their own servers. It would be pretty hard for them to erect servers all over the world. But they're actually buying whole servers and not renting out just little spaces on servers. So there's that. There's great customization and connection options through their Windows app. You can go TCP or UDP or L2TP or IKEV if you know what that stuff is. There's some real cool stuff like split tunneling, which allows you to, let's say, use the internet on the regular with Steam, so you get the best pings and the best download rates and stuff like that, because Steam's pretty secure. But you can use, Ivacy and do split tunneling so that your Chrome always goes through the VPN. And there's an internet kill switch, so if the VPN goes down, your internet stops working and you can go switch servers or whatever. So there's a lot of different reasons to use Ivacy, and all these features are baked in and might be part of other VPN services, but I think the best thing about Ivacy is the pricing. It's a very comprehensive service like the other big dogs, but there's a lot of flexibility with the pricing. So if you head over to their website, they have several different pricing options, which is always nice. Sign up for a month. You need a VPN for just a quick little thing, or maybe you want to check it out. You can do it for a month, $10 or $9.95, one-time build USD, and you can check it out that way. They actually do have a return policy, money-back guarantee and stuff. We'll talk about that in just a second. But if you want to check it out for a year, it's $3.33 a month here, and that's $40 USD build one time, and you have access to it for a year. Or if you're feeling daring, you can go ahead and do 2 years and you save a bunch of money. Build $54 and you got it for a 2-year subscription. That's not bad. Works out to $225 a month. But they actually do have a better pricing plan if you're willing to go 5 years. And this is always available, but I got an exclusive deal to do even better than that with a little code. So we have $133 a month, sign up for 5 years. It is an $80 charge. Build one time, and actually can make this a little bit better. Use the link in the description. We've got code TJ20, and they'll knock another $20 off of this. Now, this is not going to last long, and it's a limited time offer and all that stuff. So if you're watching this video a few months from now, you know, at the time I put it up, then it's probably not going to work, but you can save another $20 off of that 5-year plan if you go check out the link in the description and use code TJ20. But it's a pretty good deal, you know, other than that, $1.33 a month for 5 years, and that works out to $80 USD. Like, that's a pretty good pricing plan, pretty good structure. So there's lots of different ways you can sign up for Privacy, and it is definitely the cheapest, if not one of the cheapest top-tiered VPNs out there. So definitely worth checking out. And they do have a return policy, a money-back guarantee, a refund policy. So there is a 30-day money-back guarantee if you, cancel the service in the first 30 days, and that works for all the plans except for the 1-month plan, which only has a 7-day money-back guarantee. So, they kind of cover all the bases. It's really nice, and lots of different pricing structures there. But right now, definitely check this out. Code TJ20, link in the description, and you can get 5 years of privacy. Always have that privacy, built into your devices and your computers. And it's just a one-time charge of $60 with that code. So check out link in the description. Pretty good stuff. And that brings up the last thing, is internet security. And it's one thing that's great because there's so many flexible options. There's actually a Chrome extension. If I click out here, you can click Privacy Chrome extension and not even install the Windows client. And this makes it very flexible because it's going to work on Chrome on iOS. It's going to work on Chrome, on Linux if you do it that way. But you can it's a lightweight client and it's an easy thing, so you don't have to install extra software on your Windows PC. So I thought that was pretty cool. But there's also, if you go into a coffee shop, you might want to have that so that when you use their internet, people aren't sniffing your packets, trying to find all your nudes, on your iCloud. Something like that. So, great to have this subscription. You sign up for real cheap, and then it's always on your Android device. So if you're running out of data and you're near some public Wi-Fi at the mall or the coffee shop, you can turn it on, click, and away you go. You're safe. They're not logging your information. Your IP is hidden, and the people in the coffee shop aren't going to be sniffing anything because you're tunneling through a server that's very, very secure. That also works on, laptop. All the different devices. So definitely, a good example I was thinking of was if you happen to connect to the Wi-Fi at work, you don't want to be showing work everything you're doing on the internet on your phone. So you can kind of sneak around, use the VPN, and they're not going to be able to tell what you're doing. It's definitely a good thing. So all in all, I think Privacy is a great service, and for it being one of the 5 best VPNs out there, it's pretty much the cheapest. It's typically $2 to $5 less than the competition, depending on which plan you choose. So, go ahead and do your research, check it out. But all the information will be in the description for you to check out the services Privacy offers. And you can go check it out. And I definitely suggest giving them a shot if you're looking for a VPN, because competent service, typically very fast. I will say that when I use it, it kind of brought my internet down to cable speeds. I don't know if I did a video on how I have 1.5 gigabit internet, so very, very fast internet. When I was using the VPN service, it felt like I was back on my cable connection, so like 100 megabit instead of a gigabit, which is totally fine for browsing through the VPN. But then, if there's issues with servers or how fast things are going, you can go ahead and actually switch servers as many times as you want. You You can have up to 5 people connect. So 5 different logins. So you can go ahead and, give your mom the login and she can browse securely, or your wife. Or let's say you have a bunch of different devices. You can log in up to 5 times with the one subscription. So that's great. And unlimited usage. Some of the VPNs actually limit how much you can download through their service. If you subscribe to Privacy VPN, you can use it as much as you want. So it's really great. So I'm at Timmy on Instagram and Twitter. Lots of different reasons to go with Privacy, but on the whole, I just wanted to bring up the attention of a VPN in general, because there's lots of uses for it, and it's becoming increasingly important to consider using one. So links in the description, discussion in the comments. I will see you guys in the video. I'm at Timmy on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you for listening to me babble about VPNs, and I'll let you make your decision, but Privacy, great choice. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.